even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, it's gonna get hard. You gotta keep striving. But you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No tears in your heart's crying. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better by night.
The toughest war you ever face will be domestic. It's elementary. It's been this way for centuries. Cold War was raised against our seed. Take off them blinders, you will see. That it ain't about them gas prices. It's all about who whip the nicest. All about them deals on bundles. Harold Fleet don't make them up. Face beating red bottoms. Dead beats we hear about them. Fitted up from head to toe, but never had their children's do. Wonder why they dying by the dozens, but it's simple, yo. Just listen. It's time we stop ignoring facts. It's time we take our family back. Fix the root and then attack. Stop making moves without a plan. Control emotions, then we stand. Calling on my kingdom and to come together. Take this land. We gotta fight, our future depends. Get the head back in order, cause that's where it begins. Invest your all into your garden, water the roots to the end. Nurture the family tree and let the fruit feed all men. Just let
Welcome to another episode of A Mile in My Shoes, where we ask the question, how can we say we know someone if we've never heard their story? Before we get started, man, I missed y'all, man. I truly missed y'all. Look, I had to go on vacation, get some breathing time with the wifey. But now I'm back, and we have a very special guest tonight that I'm excited. One of my fellow poets, one of my fellow awesome personalities. Look, she has a bio that is very interesting. Look, I am looking forward to truly hearing the depths of this story, depending on how deep she wants to go in the story. But I'm looking forward to hear this testimony, look and hear how she transformed all the pain and trauma that she dealt with and put it all into her work of art. I gotta get her to say this janglage. I'm ready to hear this, man. Without any further ado, y'all drop some hearts for Jerrica J. Franklin.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, Miss Jerrica?
What is going on? I'm so happy to be here.
Look, before we start, how deep are we going into this story? That's what I got to know. What you comfortable with? Because I always want to ask and be sure, you know what I'm saying? I read the bio. It's deep.
Well, you know what? My grandmother always told me, do something right or don't do it at all.
Okay, we going there. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right. So there are many different hats that you wear, but before we get into all that you do, everything that you've been involved with, all the stages before we get into all that, before we show that side, I want to start at the beginning and how that part of you was formed and birthed. So let's go back to the beginning and let's get started on your story. Let's walk this mile, man.
Well, I started writing at 8 years old, and at 8 years old was the same age my mother was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. You know, being a kid, you're definitely not familiar with what that is, you know. All you know is, you know, shoot, I was like, I know it ain't cancer, so, you know, what's going on? Is mommy okay? And
right.
Yeah, but I had to grow up a little quicker than most children. My mother was a single mother, so it was her and I all my life. We didn't have a car, so we would walk everywhere or catch the bus or get rides. But my mother was always a very strong woman, and she forced me to really become that as well. Whether she knew it or not, I think she kind of knew. She only had so much time with me.
Yeah.
So my escape from seeing my mother so sick and having to kind of, all right, chest up, what you can do for yourself at 8 years old, what you can do for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So I learned how to cook early, everything. And my home away from home started with writing. And the crazy thing about it is I had a speech impediment. Not stuttering, but it's called cluttering. And it's basically when the words are in your head, but they don't come in from your mouth the same. You're not able to articulate your thoughts properly. So communicating, even today, is still sometimes an issue for me. But I have to make a little bit more effort than most people. So I wrote
You
things
you
down.
know I'm listening to this, but my mind's trying to put it together because I've heard you on stage and behind the mic before. So
God
I'm
is
trying to
good.
continue. My mind went blank. I was like, what?
Man, I tell you, people say that all the time when I say that they can't quite believe it, but my confidence really was low because I couldn't articulate myself the best all the time. So I was forced to write things down. I've always been a very sensitive individual on top of that.
Look,
So,
I know about that too. Look, I got a wife I know about that
oh yeah,
sensitivity. Yeah.
but I will say it the thing that the enemy puts on you as a barrier, favor ain't fair. And that was the thing when my mom passed when I was 10. That was the thing that kind of brought me out. I started really writing then. Before I knew it, teachers were putting my work into competitions I didn't even know about. I've been writing since then, but years ago now, I heard my mentor. I'm from Alexandria, Louisiana.
Shout out Ellick.
Yes. And we used to have a show called Rhythm and Rhymes hosted by Shakondria Icon Sibley. And I heard her say at the first time I've ever went, she was like, if you have a poem in your heart, to not get on this stage is like to have a sports car and never drive it to its full potential.
Mm,
You don't even know how far this could go if you just open your mouth.
mm-hmm.
And so I prayed on it and I prayed on it. Didn't have at the time wasn't many opportunities for poets, even
Right.
in schools, to be honest. It wasn't many opportunities for, us if we didn't have a ball in our hands. And I prayed on it and I always read this part in the Bible from Exodus, and it's the story of Moses. And if you're familiar with
Mm,
the story of Moses, he tells God, but I'm slow of tongue.
yeah.
And in so many ways that resonated with me. And the more I read, because too much is given, much is required. You need to know what you're getting into. And
Mm-hmm.
and all that getting, get understanding. And I realized that I was a lot like Moses.
Yeah.
And the same God that put power in Moses' hands put power in mine
Come
and
on, man.
power in my tongue. And so, boom, before you know it, I opened my mouth and here we are. A whole lot of seasons later. And I'm just blessed, man.
Now tell me this. Tell me this. What was the first time that you actually recited some poetry in front of people? Uh-oh.
At 10, I was in school after my mom passed. I went to three different schools in 1 year. I lived in three different houses in 1 year. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, so it was a lot going on. So when my teacher found out I could write, she said, "Yeah, you're gonna be a part of the Black History program." I said, "What?" And I wrote a poem about my mom.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever been on, you know, a display.
Right, right.
And after that, yeah, I had a little interest, but again, where I am at the time didn't have many platforms. There wasn't many avenues. So
Right.
I was 22 when I finally got on the mic, which was at Rhythm and Rhymes, and I haven't stopped since.
Now, who was the creator of Rhythm and Rhymes? Who was the original start of original Rhythm?
the the original startup group of Rhythm and Rhymes was Mosaic Dialect. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
So
uh,
you held on to that gift from 10 until 22. Now, how was that for you the first time ever actually as
ooh,
a, and who was it that encouraged you to actually go?
oh, my boy best friend. And it's funny how God works. God's so intentional. King was not a person. His name is King Hayes. Shout out to him. Um, I met King when I was 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we formed a friendship that was so pure and it was so great. We both have a love for music. And I would let him hear some of my poems. We would ride around and I go, listen to this. And he would tell me, he's not a man of many words, but when he speaks, you listen.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you got to put that out somewhere. I was like, but I'm scared. He was like, he said, I don't know what you're scared for. I say, I am more scared of putting my work out here. As I'm more scared of that than I am scared of heights, and I am scared of heights. Okay.
Now tell me this: what was the greatest fear? What was the greatest fear
To
about putting your stuff out?
to put it out and somebody being like, what the heck? What is
Right.
this girl? Uh, when you don't have confidence in yourself, that's a terrible thing. But I do realize that that's the work of the enemy, and that
Yeah.
happens to everyone who is chosen. You know, the enemy has a way of putting doubt in you, in the very
Yeah.
things that God gave you to use. And it took a person I didn't know longer than 6 months to go, you're going to have to jump off the roof. That was his exact words. Because I said I was scared of heights. He was like, jump off the roof. Do it scared. And I told him after I left the first Rhythm and Rhymes, I was like, this poet, she's amazing. And she said something. And I feel like she was almost talking to me. And they're having another one. And I want to go. I want to get on, but I'm scared. I don't know. And at the time, I had no car. I had a piece of a job. And I was just, yeah, yeah, life was life. And he
Mm-hmm.
took me. He took me to that. And yeah,
It's
I,
amazing. It's amazing to me because so many people fear just being who they are, not understanding the whole world is waiting to see 'em.
yes,
The
yes.
whole world is waiting to see him.
Oh gosh, like when I say I'm sitting on work, again, when you've been doing this since 8, carry the one, I'm now, but you know, all this time I've been writing things, and the only thing that has been hindering me was myself. But it was the very thing that was not only the the beautiful thing. I think I kind of spoke on this earlier with you.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful thing about my gift is, though it's my passion, it also correlates with my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah. This mouth can make a stop sign keep going. Yeah, yeah. So you have to know when they say it's power in the tongue. Oh, I recognize that now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm using mine because I
Yeah.
have to. That's what I'm here for. So
Look,
yeah,
that's what it was called for.
yeah.
So now that we here, tell us some of the things that you were involved with. Because this tonight, I mean, it's dedicated to everybody, but tonight is especially for those poet people out there, man.
Oh yeah.
We have a whole community that people don't know about, man.
Yes, a
A
whole
whole
community.
community.
Oh
So
man.
so tell me some of the programs, some of the events that you were involved in. Because I know a lot of the people that you name it, man. I know a lot of the people you name it, man. to where you really got that beginning started, man?
Oh, well, first of all, shoot, I would not, I know, outside of my boy best friend, I know I wouldn't have gotten this far without Shakandria. And I
I
don't know,
on, man.
yeah, she started,
Man.
she saw what I was trying to do, and she started taking me to Lafayette to get on open mics. Her and Dambe Jamie, uh, that's my mentor as well. Jamie would run through pieces with me at her house. Again, I had no car at the time. She would get off work, come get me, take me on the other side of town to her house. We would run through poems. She would feed me, and we would all pile up in either one of their cars, and we would go to Lafayette.
Yeah.
And I would get on the mic, and boom, that's where I met Alex, Poetic Soul 337, um, Ladane,
The
Knowledge.
host. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Ladane the host, Knowledge. So many.
Knowledge. Ooh.
Michaela, Toy the Poetic Beauty, who's also from Alexandria. So many wonderful people put a little seed in me, and just because they saw what I was trying to do. So I've had the pleasure of mostly performing in South Louisiana,
Yeah.
but out here I've done Words Over Wine too.
Mhm.
Uh, I've done
It's
the
too
circle.
many.
I've created my own events. I've done web series with Miss Jacqueline, Finding Friends. Um, I've done plays with AEX Cultural Collective. Uh, I've hosted an open mic with Miss Tanya at
This time,
Lumberjack.
Miss Tanya will be here at the end of the month. She's coming on.
Oh, absolutely love her, her husband, and the fish. I'm gonna put that out there. um, I've man recently, huh, the best networking get friend in addition that I've made lately was Miss True Justice.
True justice.
Her and Big Mike. Big Mike out of
Oh, I love Big
Opelousas.
Mike, man. I love Big.
Yes. Oh, they're doing some amazing things. So I've had the pleasure of performing at Two Grown and Sexies. Um, V Marie and I, we've done a lot of work together. Shout out to V. I've won the Ignite the Mike Alexandria Partner Poetry Slam. Uh, I've and on top of that, I just released my book this year, Words for Wings, on
Yeah,
Amazon. You
I
can
want
get
to talk about that. I want to talk about that for a moment. Words for Wings. Break that
that.
down. When did this start? How did this come about? Where did the idea come from? And what does it entail?
Well, Words for Wings, just what it says. You know, wings are designed to take you somewhere. Again, we just spoke on power of the tongue, and I realized that that's what my words could do. When
Yeah,
I opened my mouth, I realized that my whole world could change. Um, I stayed with my mouth closed for a long time, and I realized that's why I wasn't receiving a lot of the abundance and prosperity
yeah.
that I really craved. But when I opened my mouth, oh baby.
Look,
So
I believe that all of the a lot of the trauma that we go through is
yeah.
us from being able to actually speak.
Oh
That
yeah.
shuts us down.
Yeah.
And then when we do speak, we only speak the negative things that we don't want.
Yeah. But I will
Hmm.
say I've learned to watch my words, and the poems in this book were poems that lie special to my heart.
Mhm.
I dedicated it to both of my parents who are both deceased now.
Yeah.
Um, but it was the things that took me higher, and it was what I learned. It was what allowed me to step into this phase of my life. But I tell you how this happened. A lot of those poems have been written years ago,
Mhm.
but I was frustrated one day. And even in my frustration, it was a workshop that True Justice and Lyrically Inclined put on in Lafayette.
Mhm.
And I said, Lord, I'm still going to go. I'm frustrated, but I'm still going to go. And I went. And it was a beautiful time. And afterwards, I was talking to True, and I was just venting. Just venting. And I was like, man, and I want to do this and I want to do this. I don't feel like I have the support. I don't have the financial back, and I don't have what everybody else has, but I want to do this. I want to, man, I feel like I've been doing this and I'm doing it in vain. And I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start. And she said, I wrote a book before. Yeah. Yeah, I did this. And I said, huh? And at that moment, I'm telling you, something on the inside of my body said, shut up. Don't talk too much, because this conversation is about to change your life. It's about to open some doors that you
Mhm.
feel have been closed. You just been in the wrong rooms. Shut up and grasp everything. And when I say that girl was more than willing
To
to be
help
a
the family.
blessing, and oh man, from there, contact the publisher. The publisher was like, okay, let me know when you're ready. I was like, yeah, I'm ready now. Yeah, how much? Yeah, I
Look,
saved up this. Yeah, yeah. She was like, oh, you're ready. I'm like, I've been ready for a long time. Now, she was like, okay, we got to make your book cover. I was like, I already got it made. I contacted somebody already. She was like, oh, wow.
but
Before we knew
I
it,
think I think we in a time like that though. Those who are willing to move
yeah,
and step out
yeah.
on faith and belief and knowing they're gonna be able to do some amazing things. And I'm talking,
Oh, man.
you can't look at anything that's going on around you. You just gotta move.
Yes. And
Period.
that's where I was. That was really a faith move, because I knew that that was information that I had been in the need of. So many of us have a dream. We just don't know where to go to pursue it. We don't know who to talk to. And I thank God I was just in the right place, the right time. And I will say, out of that, I learned too, it's a blessing in obedience.
Come
My
on.
grandfather always preaches that. I'm a PK. He always would preach saying it's a blessing in obedience. And I saw that for the first time, um, out loud, just by shutting up, going, even being discouraged. So much had happened during that time. I was like, I'm going anyway.
Still
And
gotta
that
go.
that day, I was actually on my last little money for gas until payday. But I was like, I said, I'm a woman of my word, and if I can do something, I'm gonna do it. So I said, I'm going anyway.
To me, I just think it's something God does when He sees you willing to do that. It it, it just
When
makes
you
it
make one
move.
step, God makes two, and if you make them enough, He'll make three and four and five. Yeah, and
Look,
and that's what has happened.
those who willing to do, not talk, but actually
Yeah.
do it. Use exactly what you got right where you at and do it.
Yes. Yes.
Next part.
Mhm.
Break this language arts down.
Ah, I knew you were gonna ask
I
me. A
need
lot
to
of
know
people
this one.
have that question.
How did
So, and when I say it, you're gonna go, "Oh, wow!" It's very simplistic. So, in school, my favorite subject was language arts, and again, going through having a speech impediment, not really knowing how to, or not feeling comfortable articulating my thoughts and my feelings verbally.
Mhm.
I always felt it was like when I speak, when I write, I feel so misunderstood. I went through a whole depression
Yeah.
behind feeling misunderstood behind the people, with the people around me, friends, family, everything, personal life. Oh God. And I was like, it's like I speak a different language. And the more I started with my writing, I was trying to originally create a collective of writers and build a platform for us all.
Yeah.
And I was like, a name for it. What name? I mean, I need this to be for the outsider, the underdog, like someone who's going against the norm, like we speak our own language. Janguage. Yeah.
Poet, man.
Corny but real.
No,
And
only a writer would come up with something like that, man.
yes. And
Only
so
a
look,
writer.
every time I tell somebody the name and I be like, yeah, you can find me at Janguage Arts. There's language with the J and arts with the Z, like my favorite rapper, Jay-Z. So remember that.
Language arts, man.
Yes. Yes.
Now the YouTube channel. Tell us what will we find on the YouTube channel?
Oh gosh. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to do a better job updating my YouTube channel. And I know a lot of artists don't actually say this, but I'm being transparent. When you are not only an artist, but you're an employee or you're an entrepreneur, you got a family. The truth is, a lot of these things that we want to pursue and we want to stay on and consistent with, it
Yeah.
falls by the wayside because we're dealing with life, and it's not that we don't care, but at this moment, yeah, we just forgot. And so I do utilize my TikTok. I'm glad you said that because I am going to start utilizing
Yes, Lord.
YouTube again. But you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Um, Look, I'm very accessible when it comes to my art.
Look, I
So
got all of them up here. Make sure you get it right. Facebook, I got it right.
yes,
We got the IG.
yes,
I'm gonna forever stay tripped out about that one.
yes,
The YouTube that will be updated soon,
yes.
and of course the TikTok, J
Uh-huh.
Franklin Poetry.
Yes, you can find me at Jerrica J Franklin. But follow the hashtag J Franklin Poetry. You'll get somebody. You'll find me.
So I want to take this time for you to share a few pieces with us, if you don't mind. Can you do that?
Ooh, child.
If you want to, you want to.
Well, you know what? I always have to spit this one piece
Come on.
because it took me a lot of places. Honestly my testimony. I wrote it, a lot of these poems, even in my book, I wrote these poems when I didn't have a car and I was riding on the city bus with the last 75 cents in my pocket. Okay.
Oh,
Just waiting, just writing into my phone, went almost there because I still had to get home. So on my way to a workshop one day, I wrote this piece and it was a very sad day, but I realized this was my letter to me. So this is called Human. It's the silence. It's the voices telling you your voyage is in vain. It's the lack of resources, over your head courses, and emotional pain. Financial aid can't aid. See, it's the absence of a family overshadowing you, telling you what you can't be, and this can't be like this, can't be living. This goes against everything I ever learned in my religion, and I am losing it. This isn't home, and I long to go. Plant me in the soil. I need somewhere to grow. I need somewhere where the air is clean and my burdens are light. I need an angel with wings strong enough to take even me higher. And well, I am afraid of heights, but I'm begging to fly, begging for this life to end, but I'm scared to die. Laugh because I'm scared to cry. To confess that I'm equal to those who look up to me, I gotta lie down now, constantly screaming to myself, Jay, you gotta try. No, Jerrica, you gotta do. Your biggest opponent is you, and you, my dear, are only human.
y'all drop some snaps, that man. Hey,
Thank you.
man,
Thank you.
man. Yeah. Look, I got some comments on that after we get finished. I'm
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna just say you've been working.
Ooh. I'm
Hey,
telling you.
hey, I'll say it like this. I can tell you believe now.
I realized that that poem was my testimony. It is my testimony. And I will say what a lot of people don't realize for artists. A lot of our work, man, these are prayers. Some of these poems ain't nothing but prayers. You know, And I'm a strong believer in write the vision, make it plain.
Yeah.
So after that, I released that. Okay.
Hmm.
And I accepted what is and who I was at the time. But I also started to write my happy out.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Like after you release your sadness, after you release your frustration, now write what you do want.
Don't leave it
Okay.
there. Don't just leave
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so many times we go to God complaining without saying what we want. What I think if I'm so glad I'm not God, I'm so glad I'm not God. I would be so
Look,
ghetto child. What do you want? What do you need?
that's a
All you
slogan.
do is cry.
Glad I'm not God. Oh yeah, I gotta agree with you on that because I'm
Oh
sure
man.
glad I'm not God. Lord have mercy.
Look, that's gonna be my next poem.
That's a slogan, poem, song, T-shirt.
Yes, yes.
Somebody type that for me. I'm so glad I'm
I'm
not God.
I'm
Oh
so
my
glad
God.
I'm not God. I'm telling you, God would be really, really ghetto. I'm telling you, I'd be. What do you want? We just talked about this yesterday. You're crying over the same thing I delivered you from 5 years ago. I mean, what's going on? What now? What do you want?
Look, it's so patience with us. Like,
Yes, thank God he's so patient. But I learned that to start writing, um, not just when I'm sad, write about something happy sometimes. So
and look, not with just the writing, your speech too, because we can get stuck on that sad talking too. Talk about something happy. Like,
yes,
talk about
yes.
something good. Talk about something uplifting.
Oh gosh, I'm telling you, because many times we get so stuck in this victim mentality. And I think a lot of times people stay where they're uncomfortable, where they're oppressed, or where they're being attacked because they're so familiar with it, they grow to like it. That's what don't nobody say, but it's true. Sometimes people like this because it's comfortable. It's all you know. And if you're always the victim, you don't have to be accountable for nothing. You you always you don't have to give nothing. You are always in the position to have your hand out to receive. But whenever you get to the point to where you acknowledge the victory, you're gonna have to be somebody else. You're gonna have to do something else. You're gonna have to be accountable. You're gonna have to give back. You're gonna have to grow because you know better. And so now you gotta do better. And you're gonna have to evolve. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So it's easy to stay in that victim place. So that's why a lot of people stay in the very things that hold them down. And I'm in a place right now where I'm seeking freedom. I'm truly seeking freedom. I'm seeking peace. I'm seeking prosperity, and I'm gonna have that by any means necessary.
But
So
it ties to exactly what you're saying. It comes when we take full responsibility.
yes,
When it
yes.
You said it all. When you stop being a victim, you said everything. That's
Oh
when
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when I watched my whole life change. When you stop blaming everybody else.
Oh yeah. I think the thing about it, what nobody understands, um, and one thing I just started saying this to myself, even on my bad days, quote unquote. I am proud of myself.
Mm,
The reason I'm proud of myself is because on paper, on
mm.
paper, everything that should have broke me. Okay. I've man, I've been through some things. I've seen some things, but I noticed the very things that were sent to break me, they always seem to build me. And they build me a little bit better, a little bit stronger each time. And I think the reason why I received the favor that I received from God, the reason why I'm treated well by the people that God sent to my life, uh, is because the very things that could have made me bitter, I didn't allow it to. I'm still a good person. I'm still going to love people. I'm still going to be kind. I'm still going to be genuine. I'm going to be everything
Hmm.
that I may have felt at one time no one was to me. I'm still, I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be the change I want to see in the world. So if it's me, if I look, I'm gonna be that because that's who I am at the core of it. And hurricane season will teach you who you are at the core of it.
Yeah. That
Mm.
you mentioned something, and I'm so glad you said it because I'm gonna go there. I'm so glad that you said that you're proud of yourself.
Oh man.
Let me tell you why, man. Give me the words, Lord. They there's something that goes around called the humility police. Every time you try to speak something good, every time you try to just be grateful for you being
Mm.
strong, and they always try to make sure they tell you, hey, now I know how. And you come from the church, so I know you know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I just want to tell you without going deep into it, I'm glad you said that you're proud of yourself because it's balance that comes with that.
Oh yeah.
Look. We both come from that background. We know God,
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
But
Yes.
guess what? Jerrica had to stand up some days too.
Yes.
Jerrica had to get up when she was crying too. Jerrica gotta go to work every day too.
Yes.
And I think we get so we try to be so righteous that we so off balance. It's out of
We
control.
are. We
Like
are.
we it blows my mind. I never speak on it, but soon as you be like, man, yeah, man, I finally got this. And I make sure you stay up. Hey, make sure you know, hey, don't, hey, make sure you glory to God. Hey, hey.
People have a way of trying to keep you at their level.
See, but that's the root of it. That's
Yeah.
why I speak on it because I know the root of it.
Oh yeah.
I know
But I
it,
will
it,
say, you gotta, and this is something I just learned. I'm telling you, I was today years old when I learned that. I've started to distance myself from people who want me to be the person I was yesterday.
come on, man.
If you still the same person you were yesterday, that's your business. And I pray for your evolution. However, when I got up, I asked for God to send some blessings my way, fix me, change me, so I can receive what He want me to receive, and I did the work to do it and to get it. Okay, so glory to God. But remember, okay,
Mm-hmm.
um, I had to do
Look,
something.
I give God all the glory.
Mm-hmm.
Shame how people police people from ever even and the truth of it all is something I'm telling you, it's a spirit behind that because seeing you do it kills the
It convicts them because when you have to face the fact that we all got 24 hours in a day and I did something different than you did. And so that's why we getting different results. Instead of just going, you know what? I'm happy for you, brother. You know what? I see you, sis. Instead of saying that, I have to make sure you remember, hey, we come from the same hood. Hey,
hey,
we come from the same
hey,
what?
don't start acting brand new.
Yeah, don't act brand new. You know, everybody ain't that. It must be nice. I've learned to shift away from people like that. If you cannot praise God for me going to another level as if it was your turn, because understand when God blesses me, whomever is attached to me, your time coming too. If you can't stay patient until your time come and clap for me, yeah, you know what? Let me bag up because I'm scared of people like that.
And this is the thing. A lot of times we don't have the ability to do it because we still broken. But
Yes.
it's something about the more and more you go towards that healing, it's a lot of stuff that you won't tolerate.
And I'm there.
It's
When
a,
I
it's a
say
lot of stuff.
I'm in a season, I'll be honest. It's crazy that I even told you that we could do this today. And I told you we could do this today for sure because I was like, I know the 14th I ain't gonna be no good for nobody. Tomorrow makes 19 years since my mother passed. And My mother passed at 32 years old, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And truth is, through her story, I learned how valuable time is,
Ooh, man.
okay? How valuable life is, and how imperative it is to get what you got to get out. Because once it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay? And what I'm doing, I know it's a part of my job. Anytime when God creates us, he gives us a job. He gives us a purpose before we even meet people, including our own parents.
Mm-hmm.
We have a purpose. And
Before
you,
your mother,
yeah,
yeah, before that.
before your mother's womb, you came in here with a purpose, okay? And no matter who comes, no matter who goes, you got to fulfill the purpose because this is your job. This is your personal reason why you are on this earth. So every chance that I get to do my job
Mm-hmm.
and I do it well, yes, I'm gonna clap for myself now because I'm one step closer to completing this job and hearing well done.
Yep.
And knowing that it is well with my soul. So if you are on a path where you are so at war with you and you are still in that victim place, you still bitter or whatever, go
I,
heal.
I love you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love you. I love you. Go heal, grow, and I pray that you go where you're supposed to go. But I got a job to do.
Look, the greatest thing we all can do for each other is to give that example of what it looks like. But if you always cater to that victim mentality, how can people ever grow? But when
Yeah.
you start to heal, you start to set boundaries, when you start to say, nah, I'm not dealing with this, it forces to come up out of it. Because in order for us to deal,
Oh
we're
yeah.
gonna have to deal with each other like we supposed to.
I've learned to even, I've learned to put a time limit on certain conversations when, um,
It's good, man.
for real, like, because, especially as an empath, because I am. And I will say I'm one of those people. I want to save the world. I really got the heart to want to save the world, but I realize I am not God. But if you present a problem to me, I want to talk about solutions. We're not going to talk about problems too long. I'm going to let you have your moment because I definitely believe we all need to have our moment. But I'm in that place right now to where when you're ready to talk about solutions and when you're receptive to the faith and the solutions and the options that are on the table, we can talk. But
That's
if you want to stay down,
hey, it sounds like balance to me.
yeah,
I can
yeah,
we gonna cry together, but it's we gonna also we gonna deal with this too.
yes, yes,
Can't just stay here and drown.
yes. Anybody who's in my life, I have this thing to where I'm very adamant on going, when you present a problem to me, I go, so what we gonna do? And when I say we, I really mean we, okay? Uh, but I realized that I could not go harder for people than they were going for themselves. And a lot of times I was rooting for people who were, they weren't rooting for me nor themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a losing battle. And I started to see where I started to be in lack because I'm feeding a seed. I don't want to say a bad seed, but I'm planting a seed in bad soil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your seed can be good, but if you plant it in bad soil or
Ready. Mm-hmm. But that's another thing too. Once you learn the value,
yes,
your value, your
yes,
value, then how you give is a whole lot different.
yeah. I just learned. I'm not afraid to say that I'm just really, really learning my full value. And
Mm-hmm.
I thank God that I hate that it took this long, but at the same time, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm now in the know. And
Yeah.
again, when you're in the know, when you know better, you got to do better.
Mm.
So I've also gotten to the place to where I'm responsible for me now,
Yeah.
and I I have to do better. So I have to protect me. I have to nurture me. I have to speak life into me. And those who want to be around me in my life, in my vision, in my purpose, whatever it is, um, I got rules now. I got boundaries now.
You gotta.
So yeah,
Hey,
we
and
have a
and it's
curriculum.
and it's love, but you
Yes.
love it. You have to love yourself first before you can love somebody else.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People think that is wrong if you set boundaries. No, I can't love you if I can't even love myself. But
And
once I
I
learn
did
how to
not hear
love
that.
myself, then I can love somebody else correct.
I did not.
Mhm.
It took me so long to understand that. I would hear people say that all the time, but then I got to a place because it, and I'll tell you another reason why it was hard for me to understand, because I felt like I was always giving from whatever I had. Okay. Even when I wasn't in my best, I was always pouring into other people all that I had. But I realized that at the end of the day, when I go home and I'm by myself, I'm not at peace. I feel drained. I'm empty
Mhm.
because I gave all of what I had instead of allowing God to build me up, fill my cup, and then let you get the overflow.
That's it. That's the math.
Uh huh.
That's the math.
Hmm.
And not too many people ever reach a place in life
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I'm talking about ever. Where not just understanding, but actually put it into practice.
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
not only do individuals never understand that, you got families
Ooh.
never get to that place either.
Never. I hate that. I'll be honest. And this is just my take on it. As a black woman, and I can only speak for myself as a black woman because all I've ever been was a black woman. Okay, but I can honestly say all the black women I know, we've had a tendency to do that,
Give it
try to
all.
pour from empty cups, and you wonder why a black woman is bitter. You wonder why she angry. You wonder why she moving in her masculine energy, because she always pouring. Every time God give her a little bit of something, she giving it out to everybody. And when she go back and look in the cup, it's empty all over again. So
And
she
then
got to go
what?
to God
Now,
all
and
over
guess
again.
what? Now I'm mad.
Yeah, now I'm mad.
I gotta do everything. And I
Yes,
always got who said
yes.
do everything? Maybe the ones around you will become stronger if you
If
stop
you stop
doing everything.
doing everything, and I'm telling you, I had to have that hard conversation with myself. Like, you mad over your decisions, okay?
I think we
You
all guilty.
Yeah,
I think
you
we all
sad
guilty.
over you. Like you said you were so busy trying to be what you felt you didn't have, and you tried to heal your wounds by trying to heal somebody else when that was never your job. That was never
Hold
your job.
up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let's stop right here. Did y'all just hear that? You tried to heal your wounds by healing somebody else's wounds. We're gonna pause for a second. Let us all digest.
Mm, mm.
Hey, I'm still digest. Let me digest because I could give a whole long story. Whoo! Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for helping me get up out of there, man.
Mm.
Try to heal some. That's another poem. I hope
Oh
you write
yeah,
this down, man.
I'm telling you. I just learned this. The broken can't heal the broken. The what? I'm telling you, it took I have an auntie and she's so funny. And we had to have that real talk, that reality check talk. And we both love music and whatnot. And she was like, you get why nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Like, and it's like it's so true. If you have nothing and I have nothing, what can either of us, that's in friendship, relationship, family ship, partnership, whatever ship it may be, you have to refill you. You have to go to God about refilling you. And when you are all the way filled, then you can give from the overflow. But it's the most damaging, sabotaging thing you could ever do. You're not supposed to give from an empty cup.
Pouring from empty cistern. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. You're not even giving all that you could give.
And let me say this. Let me tip my hat for all of those who have, who are right, and the ones who will take that stand and change things. Because that path you got to go through to be to change all of that, to start pouring from that whole person. You mean going against the grain of everything. You mean getting ridiculed by everyone. You mean
Yes.
talked about by everyone. You mean getting said that, oh, you think you the junk. Oh, you get ready to go through the fire
Oh,
in order to become all that God has called you to be the right way.
yeah.
Because it looks nothing like what we call correct. It doesn't. They gonna say you're arrogant. They gonna say you're selfish. They gonna say you're stuck up. They gonna say you don't want to talk to nobody. They gonna say, oh, you think you done.
Changed.
Oh,
I
you
knew you
quit.
back when. People love to remind you who you used to be.
So if you not ready to deal with all of that, that's part of healing.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gonna test you to see if that rejection hits you to where you gotta run back to that same old person that used to take all that same old stuff. You're gonna be tested on it all. Mm-hmm. So I just
Mm.
want to tip my hat to everybody that's in that process. Keep going.
Keep going.
Hey, and let me tell you why. Those same people need to finish that race so they can
Yeah.
see what it looked like.
Yes. Yes. Again, we got a job to do. We got a job to do, and no matter who could, this life really is like a job. And whether you love your job or hate your job, this is your job. And you can't quit because your favorite coworker quit. And you can't, you know what I'm saying? You have to keep going. And I've been through so much. Oh my God. I think I lived in a hurricane season for what seemed like years at one point. Um I I've definitely had times where I have just really felt like throwing in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
Like really giving up because I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? I was too attached to the wrong things, the wrong people. I won't even say the wrong, but I built my world around other people. I when I
Mm-hmm.
attach, and it was like when those people left me, I felt like my whole world was just crashing down, and I couldn't go on. But as long as God keep waking you up in the morning, you're supposed to be here. You're
And
supposed to be here.
this is what I've learned though. Anything that I've ever put that much into or got close to like that in that way, it always.
Mm,
And let me tell you why.
stop that.
Let me tell you why. Because God never wants us to put nobody in that place, man. And now, and look,
Yes.
and now And now I love people dearly,
Hmm.
but I don't worship them.
Yes, yes.
And I
I've
make sure I
learned,
keep that. I make sure I keep that balance.
yes. And then on top of that, it's for your own protection too, because you should never be in the place. I think sometimes we romanticize life being over when people leave us or whatever the case, is. But again, again, I say, tomorrow, 19 years, I have been without my mother. Okay. The
Hmm.
person that put me in this world, the one person that for sure loved me for free. I have been without my mother for 19 years.
Yeah.
I could, I,
Look,
it,
you that make you different, man.
it does. So I've learned to, I thought I knew how to love because I gave so much love. Okay.
Hmm.
But I just recently learned a part of loving anything and anybody in a healthy manner is loving them enough to love yourself, to stand on who you are. This is my
Hmm.
boundaries. This is how I feel. I'm willing to evolve. I'm willing to compromise, but I'm not willing to sacrifice so much of me to where I can't recognize me in order to be in your company.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to be in any place where I feel sabotaged, ridiculed, belittled too long because I want your because I love you so much. I used to have, even, I'll be transparent. I had a habit of saying, whatever makes you happy, you know, I'm 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 willing, whatever makes you happy. I just learned, like, what do you say? No, what about you? What make you happy? So ever since I started standing on and discovering what makes me happy, whether I've encountered it yet or not, all the things that make me happy. When I started to seek what does, I started realizing, like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't like this.
And
As a
it's
matter of fact,
okay.
I don't like
That
this
I don't
either.
look, and it's okay that I don't like
Yeah, and I love you. I love you. This goes for friends, family, everybody. I love you, but I don't like this. I don't like the way I'm treated right here. And one thing about it, I will say, I realize I'm going to be treated well. I'm going to
it.
be where I'm appreciated. I'm
Ooh.
going to be where I'm celebrated.
You
I,
sound like you didn't heal. You sound real healed over there, man.
man,
You
felt
have
like 40
if
days and
people
40
would
nights.
hey, people would think it's pride, man, but it's not, man. You understand who you are.
When you go so long with sleeping on yourself, eventually, one thing about it, you got to wake up one day. And recently, I woke up and I was like, I feel I've chosen people all my life outside of my own body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it looks like to choose me, but I'm about to try.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to try. We about to see. And so this, again, this is recent, very recent. I realized, like, after a period of solitude, I stayed in my bed. I would work and I would sleep. I
Mm-hmm.
did that for at least 2, 3 months. Okay. You wasn't gonna see me like that. I wasn't seeing nobody like that.
Yeah.
Uh, but I was so drained. I really was. And I literally got to the place where God had to get with me, and I begged God to take me out of that dark place.
Mm-hmm.
And the reward for it is, even when things are crazy, because not to say things are perfect,
Right.
but it, I'm different. I had to ask God to strengthen me, build me back up, give me discernment, open my eyes to the things I need to know. And my daily prayer all the time, Lord, change me. I
Mm.
can't ask you to change nobody else, and change me because I'm not always right. I want everything you have for me. And so if I'm hindering me, fix me.
Fix me too.
So I realized the part of My issue was I gave a lot too much to other beings outside of myself. And I was always wondering why I was in lack of peace, joy, uh, all these things.
Yeah.
No, I don't live that way no more. That's ghetto. Yeah, we done moved out that project. I'm
We
sorry.
didn't we didn't moved out, man.
Yeah, we gonna have to move on
We
up
didn't
out
moved out.
you know. And I
Hey.
pray, people come with me, but even those who don't, um, I still wish well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a choice. It is
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah.
And look, this is one thing I can't say. Everybody won't choose to walk down that path. But what it
Mm,
takes, the people you gotta lose, the choice you gotta make, the stuff you gotta everybody not willing to go through that the uncomfortable times when you don't because you're not gonna go with that usual job. You're not gonna just go with the I know I'm not made for this, but I'm gonna just do it because it's safe. No, you gotta risk you everybody
yeah.
not choose to do that, man.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to have everything God has for me.
Oh man,
I need all those.
I need all of it. And when I say today, I choose to walk in a path that allows me to receive it. When you start thinking about all the time where you hindered you, yeah, you gonna start to choose a different route.
And for our church folks, let me tell you one of the secrets to it, and we coming to a close. Hallelujah. Um, when you start truly submitting to that to the Holy Spirit in you, when this tell you this ain't right, when this tell you nah that person don't really like, when it tell you nah this ain't for you, when this tell you nah you don't need to go there, when you start submitting to that's inside of you, saying yes to that, your whole world. Your
Ooh.
look, there's no more that tell you, man, something told me not to do that, but I did it. That thing gone.
Hmm.
I know how to recognize that. Man, I don't know. Nah, man, I ain't hear
Yeah.
nothing that you got going on right now. I know what it's telling me, and I'm going.
Oh
When
gosh,
you learn to trust the spirit he left in, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. That's
it's a
that's the
beautiful thing.
that's the
It's a beautiful thing. It leads you to a free place. A lot of people think, we gotta die to get to heaven. It's a part of heaven that we can experience right here if we just listen. If we just, be obedient.
what you started with.
Yeah,
Obedience, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
You can
At
help
all
with all
costs.
kind of different
Hey,
dimensions.
people miss the whole concept of Christ and how he showed obedience unto death. If you learn how
Oh
to submit to that and
man,
obey, I'm telling you, look, we giving the keys yet.
man.
People miss the whole concept of it if you learn how to trust the spirit that he left here with.
Yes, yes.
If you follow that, not people,
Mhm.
not your emotions, follow that spirit
Yeah.
and watch life change.
Ooh.
All the way unto death, follow that and watch life change right in front of you. When it says no, no.
Yeah.
When it say turn left, turn left. When it
I
say quit that
left.
job, quit that job. When it say the person that's just treating you oh so good, but no, it's not right, shut it down and
Sit
watch.
down. Yeah. Yeah.
Miss
I,
Jerrica, I didn't know it was gonna go this deep. I didn't know it was gonna
I
turn.
didn't know either.
I didn't know it
But you
was.
know what? I did tell God to let this be intentional.
It was a lot spoken on tonight.
Yeah.
So as we come to a close, if you could give any advice to anybody that's coming or going down that path of freedom, what would you give?
No man knows the day or hour. While the blood is still running warm in your veins, choose yourself.
Hmm.
If whatever you do, whatever you're supposed to do, whatever you're trying to do it. scared. Do it with tears in your eyes. Do it stuttering. Do it cluttering. Do it. Do it alone. Do it broke. I promise you, your help will come.
Mm-hmm.
You might never know your help's still on the way. Uh, do it. And do it quickly. Yeah. Move with a sense of urgency about you. Yeah.
I know that sounds so unfamiliar to people to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said all this. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You got to be your own child. You know how we love our children? You know, if the school call or whatever, we tell them, work, listen, I got to go. Hey, that's my child. I got to go. Be your own child.
You're giving the keys right now. I hope they have an ear to hear.
Yeah. I hope that blesses somebody, you know.
You're giving the keys. I hope they have an ear to hear what you really said, man. That's my prayer. That they hear what you said. Well, Miss Jerrica and everybody out there tonight, I was blessed. Look, it's been a while since I walked a mile. Like I said, I had to go on vacation with the fam, but I'm back now, and I'm glad I had you. Look, I hope to have you back again with some more poetry, some more anything, some more conversations and talk, man.
Oh, most definitely.
Because these are the conversations that we need that many people won't have, man. I'm just glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad that I have ears to hear.
Oh gosh. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So look, we're gonna run these one more time. I want to have this on here again. Make sure y'all follow her Facebook, Jerrica J. Franklin, IG J with Arts. Man, hey, I really like that, man. We got YouTube, the TikTok, J. Franklin Poetry, and the book that she wrote was Words for Wings.
Yes, and you can also, right now, I am doing a sale where they're $20 if you buy from me, but you can also go on Amazon. But if you can reach me at any of the information, include my email, janguagearts@gmail. If you buy directly from me, it'll be a signed copy, and it's only $20. So yeah.
And look, whenever we finish, I want you to drop the link in here.
Okay.
Where they can go directly and get it.
Awesome. And hey, don't forget booking information. You can also book with me through my email. Even if I cannot, physically come to the event and perform, I do still do commission work. I do write pieces for people at random moments. So yeah. Still
look, get it in. Look, I enjoyed having you, and like I said, this was great for the soul. I enjoyed breaking bread with you. And look, we going out with a song. I hope y'all have a prosperous, blessed night. Look, make sure you choosing you first, man. I know it's hard to, of course, God is first always. But after that, make sure you choosing yourself, because how can we love others if we don't even love ourselves? It was powerful tonight, man. I love y'all, and we out, man.
All right, bye, y'all.
So this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No, he hears your heart's cry. Hold on to his words, lean on him. It gets better by and by.
And to my queens, I see y'all in a different way. It's more to y'all than posing pictures on your Facebook page. God-given power to uplift a man, to make a slave, speak life into our dreams, or tear us down and watch us fade away. Know y'all position, cause you're vital to the family structure. No replacing any mother. Careful how you treating love. elegant. Heaven sent etiquette is like no other. Her love is better than buttered biscuits right out the oven. Know who you are, don't let this world define. Shape or mold you, God's daughter, queen of nations. There's no box to ever hold you. Life creator, womb protector, heaven sent. Love injector, backbone, best gift ever. Worth more than hidden treasure. I speak life, cause this world is trying to turn you cold. Replace that heart of stone with flesh. We need your love to make us whole. Take back your crown and hold us down. Together, we won't fold. Get back to love how God intended. Change to make this family.
Even though this life is tough, said you gotta